Gretkin,
Here.
Moore,
Here.
Shaner,
Here.
Scott,
Here.
Waters.
We stand for a moment of silent prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we have a proclamation today that reads, that reads, whereas Thorpe and Company Jewelers has been a staple in downtown Sioux City for the past 120 years. Since 1900, they have been known for their customizable pieces in-house goldsmith and personal customer service. And whereas 4 generations have helped write the Thorpe and Company story, Rusty Thorpe Clark took over the family business from his father in 1976 and has been running it ever since with the help of his wife, Karen. And whereas Thorpe and Company Jewelers reached an incredible milestone in 2020, with that, Rusty and Karen have decided to write the final chapter of this remarkable story and retire. Now, therefore, I, Robert E. Scott, Mayor of the City of Sioux City, Iowa, on behalf of the City Council, do hereby recognize the 120th anniversary of Thorpe and Company Jewelers, and also congratulate Rusty and Karen Clark on the occasion of their retirement. And we want to thank their family for the 120 years of service to Sioux City. We'll have Mr. Moore deliver that to them this week. Thank you, Dan, for taking charge of that. We appreciate what they've done for the community. Let them know on behalf of all the council, we appreciate everything they've done.
Absolutely.
Will do. Okay, we'll go to boards and commission interviews. We have Gail on the phone. Hi, Gail. Tell us a little bit about yourself and why you want to serve on the Art Center board.
Muted.
Oh, hold on. We got to get volume.
Her microphone is muted.
Is your microphone muted?
Not now.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, you caught me by surprise.
Go ahead. Tell us why you want to serve.
Yes, I am currently chairing the Board of Trustees, having served for about 3.5 years now. And I would be much aggrieved if I could not continue in this position. It means a lot to me. Especially, I was thinking back on these last 12 months and how there's been a lot going on for the Board of Trustees to work with. And we're picking up a lot of momentum that I would like to continue to be a part of. And just thinking over the past 12 months with Al Harrisman and his retirement, and then I was involved in the search for his replacement, and we're very fortunate that Todd Barron was interested in that position, and he's fulfilled it so ably. I would love to continue working with Todd and the other members of the Board of Trustees. I got to supervise his 3-month review, which was a fine learning experience for me. And then hiring our new curator as well. The board got to have an interview session with Mary Ann Redding. I feel like I'm really fully engaged in the work of the Board of Trustees already and have been for 2.5 years. As you know, we recently put together a strategic plan. We were intending the part to be a 5-year strategic plan, but it began to seem that we didn't need to drag it out that long. It needs to be objectives could be accomplished in 2 or 3 years, because we've got the dynamic leaders and parents and capable staff at the Art Center.
Okay. Questions?
I don't have a question, Gail. I do have just a comment that I'd like to make. I want to say that thank you for your past work with the Art Center, and all of that knowledge and of the Art Center and its operation, all of your past experience, it seems to me as though you may be just the perfect fit for this. So thank you very much for applying. We appreciate it.
Oh, I do hope to continue. Thank you. It's a very important position for me.
Gail, this is Dan Moore. I just want to thank you too for your service. Your years of service on that board they reflect your compassion and your excitement for the Art Center. It really shows through. So you've been, at least my involvement with the Art Center, you've been great to work with as well. So I appreciate your taking the time to reapply for another term. So thank you.
Very kind of you to say so. I have enjoyed getting acquainted with you while working on the board.
All right, well, thank you. We'll let you know. We
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Bye.
Next, we'll go to Ryan Bollinger for the Building and Housing Code Board. Hi, Ryan. Tell us a little bit about why you want to serve on the Building and Housing Code Board.
Looks like he's muted too.
Like he has it on mute too, though, on his end.
Muted?
Can you hear us, Ryan?
Are you on mute, Ryan? Hello?
Okay. All right, there we go.
There we go.
There it is.
You there, Ryan?
Yep, 1 second. I might have Ryan Bollinger.
Go ahead and tell us.
Is now joining.
All right, can you still hear me?
Yeah, go ahead and tell us why you want to serve.
I want to serve pretty much because I'm a younger adult and the younger adults here and want to help the community moving forward, specifically for the code board members, and just making sure that as I grow up here and continue with my wife and hopefully a family someday, that we're able to make sure buildings that are walked into are built within code and they're safe to walk into, and that the people who are building them are also qualified to build them.
Questions for Ryan?
Well, this will be your first term, is that correct?
Yes.
That is correct.
Okay. Well, thank you for making the application. I really appreciate that, and I think your words of introduction were very wise, so thank you.
Whose place would he be taking?
Appreciate that.
Ryan is a commercial general contractor, so he would be taking Matthew Thompson's place.
Big shoes to fill, right?
Well, he's not here to hear me disagree with him, so.
Well, tell him we're expecting big things out of you, so. Questions or anything else for Ryan? Thank you for applying, Ryan. We appreciate it.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Ryan.
no problem. Yep, thank you.
Thank you. Willie Delph's on.
Willie Delph. I'm on, yeah.
Willie, you've been around longer
Is
than I
now
have.
joining.
Tell us why you want to,
I take that as a compliment, thank you.
tell us why you want to keep serving.
Is now exiting.
You want to wonder why? Sometimes I ask myself that same question.
I didn't hear that. Say that again, Willie.
I said, sometimes I ask myself that same question.
Okay, all right. So how many years have you served on this?
So I took a sabbatical. I did 3 terms as a residential building member of the commission, and now I'm looking to be a citizen at large position.
Questions for Willie?
Thanks for applying, Willie. We appreciate that. And when you were on the board, it was, you did really good work. So you've got a good record, and you set out your one year, and you're back. So thank you for coming back.
Well, I appreciate that, Dan.
Is this a one-year service?
No, it's just that Willie had served forever, and so he has to get off 1 year to get back.
Oh, sure.
Unless we waive the rules, so, but he chose not to do that, so.
Willie, is it that you want to get back on the board? Is there a specific goal that you want to accomplish, or a project or anything like that that you'd like to see through, or you just want to continue to serve on the same path?
So nothing specific, no, but as a lot of the board members know, I'm active in the community. I own a lot of property in the community, so I want to help make it better.
Great.
Okay. Okay, let's go. Thanks, Willie. We'll let you
Thanks,
know.
Willie.
Appreciate it. Okay, Tito?
You bet. Bye-bye.
Tito, are you on?
Yes, I am.
I had to look at your
Willie
application
Hill.
twice. I didn't realize
Is now
what your name was all these years. I just always knew you by Tito, but thank you for applying. Tell us why you want to serve on this Inclusive Sioux City Committee, if you would.
Well, my line of work for the last 30 years of my life has been helping people, working with people, building stronger relationships, getting involved, figuring out a better way, being a good listener, and making contacts and relationships with families, youth, kids, students, parents, everybody. So that's what I've kind of been doing. So when I saw this come up, I figured it'd be a good chance to get involved a little bit further. When I was homeless for a little while, I didn't have any resources, didn't know where to go to, so I started looking for resources. That's when I got involved with a lot of the stuff that I ended up doing for the last 25 years here in Sioux City. And I know there's a lot of folks out there that were just like me and that are just like me, trying to find that same resource, find that same connection, and have a voice. So I figured when I saw this, I jump on the chance to get that opportunity to help out.
Okay, questions?
Tito, this is Pete Gretkin. Thank you for applying for this position. I think you would be a very good member, part of the committee. I also appreciate the extra information you provided. You have a number of very good ideas, and I'm glad that you put in again, and I'm glad you're there to discuss the wealth of knowledge you have over the last 2 or 3 decades in the community, and I appreciate all you've done.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks for making the application, and I agree with Mr. Gretkin. Those added comments are very, very helpful. So thank you again.
Thank you, Mayor Scott. And I do want to say this, though. I'm a big proponent for if you have an issue with something or you think something's not right, come with some ideas and suggestions. Otherwise, to me, it's just complaining. So that's kind of how I live my life. So when I saw that, I thought, you know what? I always have ideas or things like that. Some possibilities that can be tried instead of just saying, this is wrong, you're doing this wrong, we should do this, or why are you doing this? You know, it's always better to come with some solutions to offer, and that's how things get resolved a lot quicker.
Hi, Tito. This is Julie Shaner. I just had a question.
Yes.
You mentioned that you had your own
10:30.
when you were struggling, yes.
Oh, I struggled my whole life, but when I didn't have a place to stay, that was, so, I mean, it was not new to me, but when I was homeless, it was about 90, I want to say 98-ish, 99-ish, around that time, if I remember correctly.
It sounds like you were young, and what I love about that is that you found your resources, you figured it out, and I think that our city has even more resources now that you would be able to steer people to.
Yeah.
The
Yes, I
city's
agree. I
really-
agree with that. Yes.
Right, the city's really taking huge steps to help the homeless, and if we can't help them literally or physically to get them off of the street, we're, I think, helping them in a more humane way than ever. So I think that you would really be an asset for that. Thank you very much for sharing your story.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tito. We'll let you know, okay?
Thank you very much for this opportunity, and whichever way you guys go, I know it's going to be fantastic, and I commend the Sioux City Council for putting this together, because a lot of cities aren't doing this. Thank you very much.
Okay, buddy, you take care. Good talking to you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right,
Caitlin, tell us why you want to serve on the Parks and Rec Board.
Hello. Yes, so I've been involved in the community for a couple years now, I would say. And so I have been on the Sioux City Growth Organizations board for the last 3 years and the Chamber of Commerce's board for the last 2. And my term for both of those is now coming to an end, and I want to continue serving my community to the best of my ability and giving my input and feedback wherever possible. And so I would love to be a part of the Parks and Recreation Board because we are growing as a community and our parks are growing, and we have the riverfront coming up that's in progress. And so it's just a perfect opportunity, I think, for me and or young professionals in general to kind of hop on and see what we can do to also make a difference.
Questions?
Hey, Lynn, this is Dan. And thanks for making the application. I've worked with you before when you're on the downtown part with Downtown Partners. You're very energetic. You've got a lot of good ideas. And I think you're just what the Parks and Rec Board would welcome and welcome your ideas. And there's still a lot of work to be done, as you know. So that remains to be seen. So thank you for making the application.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, Kaylin, it's Julie. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good. We also work together on Downtown Partners Board, and I know you are a high-energy girl, and I really love that. If you don't mind me mentioning your new position with Girls and Boys Club, I think that's going to be a good motivator for you for what young people, you know, whether they're moving on, whether they're living in our community, things that they want, they're bored, they want things to do they want trails, do they want, you know, just at parks and you know, those kind of physical activities alone. So I think that's going to give you some good insight with your new job. I really do.
Yeah, I think so too.
Thank you for applying.
Thank you.
Anything? All right,
No,
thank
thanks,
you. We'll
Caleb.
let you know.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll go to the consent agenda, which today is items 3 through 13B. Consider them to pass unanimously unless a separate roll call vote's asked for by a council member. If you want to speak on an item, please come up as I read it and state your name and address for the record. If you want to speak on an item not on the agenda, please come up under citizen concerns. I'll move the consent agenda.
Second.
3 is a reading of the city council minutes of December 7th, 2020. 4 is a presentation of the Mayor's Youth Commission's 2020 accomplishments. Go ahead.
Oh, hello, my name is Ariha Ilyas, and I am a senior at North High School. And I was served as mayor this year. Okay. So the mission of Mayor's Youth Commission is to explore, communicate, and provide for the needs, problems, issues, and activities affecting the city's youth. The goals for Mayor's Youth Commission are for youth to make a positive impact in their community and feel valued, to encourage youth to develop into their full potential, to hold leadership sessions for youth to increase their knowledge and skills, to participate in community service and activities, and to have the youth feel that they have made a positive contribution to society. The requirements are each member is required to earn 10 points, 2 hours equal 1 point, as well as follow the good conduct policy. Half of the activities or points must be earned by May 31st. The 2020 membership was 123 Mayor's Youth Commission members, 40 Young Ambassadors, which equal a total of 163 members. Members are from Bishop Heelan High School, East High School, North High School, West High School, and Siouxland Community Christian.
Our 2020 impact: in January, the Executive Council members held an orientation for 34 new members. In February, they identified items for the 2020 action plan, which included leadership in public speaking, support veterans, trash cleanup, promote MIC in schools, Young Ambassador Little Free Library activities, and in 2020, members contributed 2,044 volunteers hours to our community, and we volunteered at 33 different activities. We also contributed many hours and resources to helping others during COVID-19. MIC also held a Young Ambassador ceremony for new Young Ambassadors on September 14th. Sioux City Young Ambassadors is a recognition program for students in grades 4 to 7 who display good character. All nominated students received a free Young Ambassador t-shirt as a gift certificate for certification from book people provided by MIC and public recognition. From the nominations, 25 students are selected to be mentored by members of the Sioux City Mayor's Youth Commission. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank the mayor and the city council for the opportunity to serve as mayor pro tem of MIC.
Thank you for your service. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Sarah.
Okay, and then I would also like to thank you for the opportunity to serve as mayor of Mayor's Youth Commission. It has been a great opportunity for me. Do you have any questions for Sarah and me?
No questions, some comments. Mayor's Youth Commission continues to rock year after year, and you have a lot of successes, and it's just amazing to me. I mean, I just can't get over the fact that you're so involved, and they say all politics is local, and you're really learning how to deal with people, how to negotiate, that kind of thing. I also want to thank parents and grandparents and others that have supported the Mayor's Youth Commission, because without them, a lot of you wouldn't be able to show up or couldn't show up, and you just don't make time for it. So greatly appreciate what the parents have done, grandparents, appreciate what your leadership, the adult leadership team that you have, good role models, and again, I'm just amazed by the accomplishments that you can do in a period of 1 year. So thank you for the service to Sioux City, and we just appreciate everything you've done. Hopefully you've learned a lot of good things from this process and can carry that forward. But never forget the fact that if you're a good listener and you can compromise and you can be civil doing it, you're going to go a long, long way in life. So thank you.
Thank you for what you guys did. It's unfortunate that your year had to be the COVID year, and you didn't probably do as much as you would have liked to, but you still had a lot of volunteer hours and that. So we're thankful for that, appreciative of that. And on behalf of the rest of Alex isn't here, but the city council I know wants to wish you two in particular and the rest of the seniors the best in your future, and thank you for your service to the community. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 5 is a resolution appointing the new members to the Mayor's Youth Commission. I'll move that.
Second.
Mary, let us vote on this, and then we'll come to you.
I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Part of the consent agenda.
That's part of the consent. Go ahead, Mary, we got it. Go ahead.
My name is Mary Koster, and I am the Youth Services Coordinator for Siouxline Cares, and I work with the Mayor's Youth Commission. This year, as in all years, during the fall, we ask for applications for Mayor's Youth Commission, and we do have 48 of them. You can see the breakdown of male and female, the ethnicity, and the schools. These 48 applicants will join the current students that are members of Mayor's Youth Commission and the Sioux City Young Ambassadors, making a total of 173 students that we are reaching and that we are working with.
Well, thank you, because without you adults, that would fall flat on its face. So thank you for, and I'm not saying that because of the kids. I'm just saying you guys have been there and know the routine now. So thank you for all you guys do to make it better too.
You're very welcome, and we all enjoy what we're doing.
Right, Mary, without your strong leadership skills, possible. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you, Mary.
All right, now's one of our favorite times. You guys want to get ready to have your picture taken too, please? Estella Brewer Johnson. Come on up here and we'll swear you in. How's that? You guys want to come here? We're going to get a picture afterwards.
I thought they just said the mayor.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you, Estella Brewer Johnson, solemnly swear that you will faithfully and impartially, to the best of your ability, execute the position of the office of the mayor of the Sioux City Mayor's Youth Commission during the year 2021, and to the best of your ability, uphold, promote, and support the ideas, activities, and mission of the Sioux City Mayor's Youth Commission by serving as a positive role model, leader, and voice for the MYC? If you do, please answer, I do.
I do.
All right. Congratulations. I'll give you an elbow bump.
Thank you.
Jake McGowan, solemnly swear that you will faithfully and impartially, to the best of your ability, execute the position of the office of Mayor Pro Tem of the City of Sioux City Mayor's Youth Commission during the year 2021, and to the best of your ability, uphold, promote, and support the ideas, activities, and missions of the Sioux City Mayor's Youth Commission by serving as a positive role model, leader, and voice for MYC. If so, answer, I do.
I do.
Congratulations. We appreciate it. Okay. Next, we'll go the resolution fixing the city manager's salary. 7 is a resolution fixing the city attorney's salary. 8 is a motion approving the Arts Center Board of Trustees annual report. 9 is a resolution inviting proposals for the sale of land in the central Sioux City CBD urban renewal area and announcing the intent to accept the proposal of Cal Ventures and schedule a hearing. 10 are actions relating to agreements and contracts. A is a resolution approving amendment number 1 to service provider agreement with certified testing for the Pierce Street reconstruction. How come we're on way over on that, Dave? I mean, we ought to know, shouldn't we know how much testing we got to do before we start a project?
I think it's based on, you know, they take an estimate based on the number of square yards that we're paving, but depending on how the contractor breaks it up, they're required to start new tests every time they do a new pour. So the contractor can break it up different ways, causing us to have more testing.
Well, it costs us a lot of money when the contractor breaks it up different than what you think it is.
Well, but that's just how they're allowed to progress the work. We don't control that.
B is a resolution approving amendment number 3 to the consulting services agreement with JEO Consulting for the Military Road Reconstruction and Bridge Rehabilitation Project. Gordon, I know what you told me, but I didn't see any damages in that contract. Was there one in there and I missed it? I kept looking and I didn't see it.
Gordon Fair, city engineer. I'm assuming you're referring to liquidated damages?
Yeah.
Yeah, there were 6 days.
Which was how much?
Well, $2,000 a day, so about $12,000.
So what, their change order is a whole lot of money for $12,000 worth of damages.
Yes, there was several change orders that added days to the contract, to the construction contract, so that they had those days that they still had to manage and inspect. So, and then there was 9 COVID days that the DOT didn't allow us to charge for, charge liquidated damages for, because they claimed COVID.
All right. C is a resolution awarding a service provider agreement to Gardner Tree Service for Lions Park Tree Cleaning Project. Dan?
I'll move that we defer item 10C for 1 week to December 21st.
Second.
Moore,
Aye.
Shaner,
Aye.
Scott,
Aye.
Waters. Is he still on?
Alex, are you still on?
Gretkin.
Aye.
Okay, 11 are actions relating, authorizing payments. A is a resolution approving a partial settlement of work comp claim. B is a resolution approving settlement of a tort claim. C is a resolution authorizing payment to C.W. Suter and Son for the City Hall VAV replacement project. I need to abstain. D is,
Mayor, back on 10C. Jill, is Jill here? Was she going to, were you going to say anything about 10C, Jill? We deferred it for 1 week. Sorry to interrupt you, Mayor, but I just saw Jill standing outside there. We deferred for 1 week because of we wanted to look at the contract terms a little closer. So I didn't know if you had anything you wanted to add. I'm sorry I wasn't able to talk with you. Spiro had asked me to give him a call today, and I just couldn't get back to him either. But I think we've got a solution here if we can have 1 week to do it.
Yep, Jill Waterside, Neighborhood Services Manager. Spiro and I have been in contact as well all day today, so I believe he's planning on talking to the contractor tomorrow, and we'll see what happens.
Okay, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate the project too. It's a big project that needs to be done.
Thank you.
So thank you.
D is authorizing payment to RP Constructors for military road reconstruction and bridge rehabilitation project. E is a resolution authorizing payment to Nelson Commercial Construction for the sidewalk program. F is approved total payments for November. G is a resolution approving fund transfers for November. 12 are applications for beer and liquor license. See the list. Do you have any questions? 13 are receipt of minutes. See the list. Do you have any questions? Come forward. Anyone to be heard? Call the roll, please.
Shaner.
Aye.
Scott.
Aye.
Waters.
Aye.
Gretkin.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Citizen concerns. Are there any citizens to be heard? Please come to the microphone and state your name and address. Seeing none, we'll go to...
Mr. Solheim? Could you come to the podium for a moment, please? Sorry, Mayor. I have some unfinished business.
Good evening. What can I do for you?
Good evening. What I would like to do, I was not able to give you a call today. I had a presentation I was going to make. That needs to be deferred till next week. And I apologize, but I'll get into the details of why it needs to be deferred after we speak. But I thought you were kind enough to come here. We're working together on the Fireworks Ordinance. And we've got a day coming up, December 31, and it adversely impacts many citizens in the community. And you and I have been working on that. So I wanted to give you and ask you if you wanted to take an opportunity to discuss some of the things we talked about without, at this point, without showing any videos. I'm sorry to do this at the last minute with you. I apologize. It's just, ever since we talked last week, it's just been really hectic.
It's a hectic time of year.
Well,
and I don't blame anyone for that whatsoever.
It is, well, but I want to tell the mayor and the council, though, that you have been most helpful in trying to find some solutions. And one of the biggest solutions we've come up with, I think, is educating the people of Sioux City about the impact that fireworks will have on not only our veterans, but also on people in Sioux City that have health issues as well. And Mark and I both agreed that the people of Sioux City have always rise to the occasion, whatever it is that we need to call on the citizens to do. And one of those, and we want to do a PR campaign, but one of the things we've talked about is asking all people to refrain from discharging fireworks until December 31, the legal date that they can be discharged within the city limits. This is the other thing I wasn't prepared for, but I think they start at, is it like 3 o'clock in the afternoon and can go till 1 in the morning on December 31st. I think it's 3 p.m., but I'd want to double check that. And I don't know if somebody has access to the ordinance or not. But we're going to ask people to please wait until that time period so that our veterans, and Mark, you said there are about, I think 10, the Veterans Commission said there are about 10,000 veterans in the Siouxland area that are really impacted by fireworks going off, especially the fireworks of today, because they're stronger, they're louder. There are two different classes of fireworks, Mayor, and the first class is just, they're extremely loud. Now, I know we've made a lot of excuses, some valid, some not, about COVID-19 and what it was like last July 4th, but as you know, several people started 2 or 3 weeks before July 4th and went 2 to 3 weeks afterwards. And for what the veterans have done for us, the 10,000 plus that we have in our community, what they have done for us to stand up and fight for our freedom, to have colleagues in the service that they've lost in war or other causes in the service. It's only respectful that we ask everyone, and I don't know who's going to argue with that. It's respectful that we wait until the legal time period to discharge fireworks. Am I leaving anything out that you and I have openly discussed with each other and had conversation about?
I don't believe so. I think in every situation that we have, no matter what it is, whether it's drunk driving or wearing masks, education really helps to solve the issue. And
we want to do PSAs
yes,
for that.
letting people know what actually happens in a person's mind when they hear these things. It's just the fear, the reoccurrence. You're brought back into a terrible time frame that you wish you could forget, and you never can.
Yeah, it just doesn't leave. And by the way, the city attorney gave me what the ordinance provides. December 31, it's from 1 p.m. to 12:30 a.m. on January 1st. 12:30 a.m., meaning you can start at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and go till a half past midnight.
Generally, they wait until after sundown because then you can see the bombs bursting in air.
Right.
Problem is sundown occurs so early that day. You're seeing like 5 o'clock in the evening and going on till after 1 o'clock.
So let's see what we can do with PSAs. I will visit with you probably tomorrow about what those PSAs will look like and what we can use and what we cannot use. I don't know if the council has any other input on this. I'll tell you the other thing, and I mentioned this to Mark, we've been scheduling a retreat for the council for a few months now, and rightfully so. I think we've made a sound decision. We want to be good role models under the pandemic that we're all under, and we have postponed our retreat. And on that retreat was one item was the fireworks ordinance. So that's not to minimize or take away from December 31st coming up, but the big one is July 4th always, and it always has been, as you know. I mean, fireworks have been legal in Iowa for what now? Is we going?
Since 2018.
2018, so it'll be our third year, 18, 19, 20, it'll be our fourth year coming up. And even before that, I remember when I came to Sioux City in 1977, we were discharging fireworks then. So, but I think if we do the educational process and really, really call on our citizens in Sioux City to please don't do any further harm.
It's not going to work, but I appreciate your.
Well, but if we get the PSAs out there.
If it happens like last year, I'm ready to vote. Most cities our size have voted already to get rid of them. And I'm about at that point. If we can't get any cooperation, if we can't have empathy for veterans that have served this country, then you know what? There's only one path for me, and that's just to vote to do away with it, and I'll take all the heat that I'm going to get, because it's unacceptable that I know a couple guys that have to just hunker down in their house for a couple days and don't feel comfortable going out. And even then, with the sound of these new ones, it's so disruptive to their lives that I'm sorry, but we've given people an opportunity to do the right thing, and they haven't done the right thing. And go ahead and write the letters to the editor and tell them I'm what kind of bad guy I am. I don't care, because people have a right to live their lives with some peace, and it just shows a total lack of regard for those people that have served this country. And I've just had enough.
I agree with you 1,000% if that was physically possible. 100% certainly. I believe what you've said is the exact truth. But I think people will step up.
I hope they do.
I really do. I hope they do.
So do
and
I.
If not, I would just as soon see the explosive fireworks done away with myself. For so many reasons. The veterans that it harms, the people with breathing difficulties, COPD, asthma, everything else, the particulates that are discharged and left into the atmosphere. Last year, Des Moines had to issue a particulate alert because there was so much debris in the air from fireworks in Des Moines. It's illegal, and it still happens. You know, but with the education, I think that will stop. That will go down.
There's also an issue, I think, I received a lot of complaints from people who are pet owners. And,
Yes.
and the impact it has on their pets and having to go to their favorite vets to get medication for the dogs. I mean, there are a number of issues that have arisen that I think it's time for us to take a look at it and just make a decision on where we want to go. And
That and when they run away.
Pardon me?
When they're outside, you know, going potty and then
Oh,
something bomb goes off
absolutely.
of their head, they burst through a fence. What injuries they receive bursting through that fence and then hiding out in a culvert someplace and eventually being found. And
I don't
the
know
expense that animal control
Don't
goes
forget
to
all the
and
garbage that
picking up
nobody
these
picks
pets.
up
Oh, yeah.
themselves either.
I don't know the class of fireworks and what causes it more, gunpowder, I suppose, to be louder. But it sure seemed to me this past July 4th that I heard louder fireworks than I've ever
I
heard
think it
in the
was so
past.
much more of
As
them.
with everything, people want more bang for their
Yeah,
buck.
yeah. And
So Mayor, I
What
would,
about the sale dates?
pardon?
What are the sale dates? in
They're
that
about
ordinance?
That's
2 weeks.
state regulated, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
Nicole?
state
That's state
law.
regulated. We
Yes.
can't do anything about
Couple of
that.
weeks, Julie, in front of
I
the
know.
actual date.
Yeah, we can't do anything about sale date. That's state. That we tried that, and the state only gave us 1 year, if you remember, and then they clamped down on us and said, you got to give so many days.
But that does lend itself to the
No
overall problem because they can purchase 2 or 3
Purchase
weeks
them
ahead
so
in
early,
advance.
then they're tempted to use them earlier.
Yeah, they don't wait.
Listen, there's like one vendor for those fireworks in the state,
Really?
guy out
Wow.
of Missouri, and he spent a lot of money getting that
Sure.
legislature.
Perhaps our city attorney can take a look at that again and see if there's anything that we could do about limiting the date. There's not?
Nope.
So, Mayor, can we,
Not for sale, but.
could we put this on the agenda for next week so it's an agenda item and Mark and I'll put together a presentation that we can make?
I still want to make sure that we have, somehow we can arrest the homeowner. I don't care who's lighting them in his house anymore. I don't want to hear that you have to see the guy doing it.
If it's
Well,
on your
We
property,
talked
it
about
happens.
that. And Mark,
You're doing it in your backyard,
Thought
and
that
you're
was-
out, you're in violation. I don't care. You're responsible for your house.
And that is the real challenge for law enforcement. We don't have anybody there
If I
to,
got 22 kids over drinking beer at my house, you get me. What's the difference? If you're breaking the law and it's your house, that's what I keep arguing.
As you say, it's running a disorderly house.
Right. I don't understand why that's such a problem to figure that out. But anyway, yes, we can have one.
could we please? Okay, so we'll have it on next week. I hope you're available.
I certainly will be.
And I'll get together with you before Monday.
I think the PSAs are a good idea. Let's
Thank
get the information out there. Let's get our city government, Facebook posts, downtown partners, any outlets that we can use, because it's going to end up being either heed the warning or you're going to lose your privilege. So, and I think people can step up. I do, and behave themselves.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
All
thank
right.
you. Thank you,
Pete, do you have
Mayor.
anything?
me?
Yeah.
Oh, I just wanted to, and maybe some of you saw this last night. No, not last night, maybe Saturday night. I think the gentleman's name was Mitchell Miller. He had been down on the riverfront, had seen a lot of garbage down there.
Yep.
Brought that matter to the forefront, put something on Facebook, organized volunteers. I think a couple of the television stations had stories over the weekend. I just wanted to thank Mitchell for taking the initiative to follow through with it and to help clean up. Also Parks and Recreation, because they're going to help pick up the debris and get it to the landfill. So I think it's a great way to contribute to the city, to make the city more attractive and keep people responsible for, you know, the litter. Litter's always been an issue
For every city.
in this community for a long time, and it's hard to control, but I do appreciate Mr. Miller taking the initiative and all the people, volunteers that were involved, and I just wanted to give them a little acknowledgement and thank them for everything they did. And that's all I have.
Alex?
Yeah, I'll keep it brief. I would just say that I would just ask all of us to remember the impact of all of the decisions that we make, whether that's supporting a small and local business or wearing a mask. Just do everything that we can to support one another in Siouxland. Stay safe. We'll see you next week.
Thank you. Julie?
I was going to also bring up the same point that Mr. Gretkin did. I want to thank Mitchell Miller for initiating that cleanup. I think a lot of it was visual because it used to be underwater. And with the river so low, now what people have thrown in, and it was invisible before, has now become visible. So I don't think we've been looking at that litter, you know, for years or anything, and that it's been ignored. So I do want to say that in Parks and Rec's defense and the city's defense, it just hasn't been visible until the water line got so low. But with the litter, we've got teams of people who volunteer. It's called Litter Dash through Downtown Partners. They sign up, and your business might come out, put gloves on, and go pick up trash. We have all kinds of groups who do roadsides, and with the COVID, those volunteers are really taking a step back to be safe, and I totally understand that. So I just would like to say that we as individuals should step up and not maybe wait for a group. And if you do see, you know, some trash or something, try to pick it up. I know there was a lot of problems on Wesley Parkway this last summer, and I would pull over, and I'm not tooting my horn by any means, but if I had a plastic bag, I would pick it up. And one day I said to myself, why did these people throw this down? And then I searched for some trash cans, and they were missing. So I got with our Parks and Rec director, and I said, if we have a bench but we don't have a trash, it would make sense to have a trash container here. So they accommodated me. We did a little kind of a test, and let me tell you, Wesley Parkway looks great. A lot of it's been cleaned up. So if you see a trash can, a trash receptacle, use it. I mean, we're providing them, we're dumping them for everyone, so we're doing what we can with the manpower that we have, but we have 85,000 more manpowers out there. So if we each just pick up one thing that we see, we're walking to our car or whatever, and you have the ability to do it, please do it. It's great to work together and to be proud of our city.
Mr. Moore?
I have nothing further, Mayor. Thank you.
Just a couple things. Thanks to the Little Yellow Dog Group for providing the funding for kids to have Christmas. I think that's terribly important in our community, especially in these COVID times. Thank the Wells family for doubling what was raised in honor of their dad. If anybody knew him, that was one of his pet projects. So thankfully they came through to make sure that Christmas is good for kids that may not have had a Christmas. So we're thankful for that. I want to be gentle on this. I mean, I want to thank the hospitals for raising the minimum wage in their hospital. I think it's long overdue, quite frankly, and thank those hospital workers that have been under so much unbelievable stress. I don't care if you're working in the dietary section or you're a frontline nurse or you're a hospitalist, whatever it is, these are trying times. And so I just appreciate that those people that were probably on the lower end of the scale got a bump, because I think they needed it as much or more than anybody else. So thankfully that got done, and be a little brighter year in 2021 for people. And hopefully the vaccine will be, some of it will be in Sioux City tomorrow, and we'll start to give shots, hopefully, and maybe see this thing subside. But you know, what a tragedy. We've gone over 300,000 lives in this country. You know, it's just terribly unfortunate that we couldn't have done something quicker. I don't know what the answers are. I don't have them, or I would have suggested, but hopefully we're on the downhill swing here. So with that, I move we adjourn.
Second.
Scott?
Aye.
Waters?
I would just say thanks for agree greatly. Second, or, aye.
Gretkin,
Aye.
Moore,
Aye.
Shaner.
Aye.
Bob?